Happy birthday to our beloved yellow Power Ranger, Tweed Train, aka Trini from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Welcome back to another anniversary rant with your boy X-Man 1991. We got 3 albums that was released on this day in 2004, 2 weeks before Christmas. Of course, 2 albums was released in 1999 on this day, Juvenile, G-Code, and of course the Next Friday soundtrack. But we're focusing on the 3 albums that was released on this day in 2004. Starting with this album. December 14th, 2004. X to the Z Xzibit released his 5th album, Weapons of Mass Destruction, under his own record label, Open Bar Entertainment, Columbia Records, and Sony Music Urban. This album hit number 43 on the Billboard 200 and number 19 on the top R&B/hip hop albums chart and was certified gold. With 3 singles, Criminal Set, Hey Now Me Muggin', and Motherfucker. You all know the song Motherfucker because it's on the soundtrack of Def Jam Fight for New York, which Xzibit is a playable character in the game. And the song Motherfucker came out the day after Def Jam Fight for New York came out, September 21st. Hey Now Me Muggin' came out on November 15th, and Criminal Set came out the same day this album came out. He has guest appearances from Truth Hurts, Strong Arm Steady, Carrie Hilson, Busta Rhymes, Sugar Free, Butch Cassidy, Dion, and Jelly Roll. Xzibit was 40 years old when he released this album. 40 years old. Oh no, he was 30, excuse me. He was 30 when this album came out. Now 20 years later, he's 50. Xzibit was already in his early 30s when he released this album. This was also his first album without being under Loud Records. I definitely like this album because it sucks that the song Motherfucker did not hit the Billboard charts. And that song is still a banger 20 years later. Congrats to X on 20 years of this album. The song Motherfucker is still a banger, as well as Hey Now Me Muggin' with Carrie Hilson. Next, this album. On the same day, Ashanti released her 4th album, Concrete Rose, under Murder Inc. Records, back when it was known as The Inc. Records at the time, and Def Jam Records. This album hit number 7 on the Billboard 200 and number 2 on the top R&B/hip hop albums chart and was certified platinum. The song has 2 singles, Don't Let 'Em and of course Only You. And the song Wonderful that she did with Robert Kelly and Ja Rule is on this album. Even though it's on Ja Rule's 6th album, it's on this album as well. Guest appearances are from Lloyd, Ja Rule, T.I., and Robert Kelly. This is not my album. This is my sister. She got this for Christmas 2 weeks after it came out. And I got the next album that I'm about to mention in a minute for Christmas of 2004. Ashanti was 24 years old when she released this album. Now 20 years later, she's 44. This is definitely a good album. One of the best R&B albums of 2004. I put this at like number 19 on my list of albums of 2004. And that Xzibit album is also in my honorable mention. Congrats to Ashanti on 20 years of this album. Like I said, this is not mine. This is my sister's. Now let's talk about this last album that was released on this day in 2004. Also on this day in 2004, Tupac's ninth and fifth posthumous album, Loyal to the Game, was released under his late mother Afeni Shakur's record label, Amaru Entertainment and Jimmy Iovine's Interscope Records. Of course, this album hit #1 on the Billboard 200 and #1 on the top R&B/hip hop albums chart and was certified platinum. Two singles being Ghetto Gospel and Thugs Get Lonely Too. No surprise, this album was produced by Eminem. Speaking of Eminem, he's a guest appearance on this album, of course. Jada is on this album. Raphael Sadiq, Big Syke, DJ Quick, Ronald Isley, Sleepy Brown, G Unit, 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, and Young Buck, Nate Dogg, Obi Trice, Castro, Young Noble, and EDI of the Outlaws, and Elton John. This was my first Tupac album that I got for Christmas of 2004 when I was 13 in the 8th grade. Yes, I got the clean version because like I told y'all back then, I was not allowed to have hip-hop albums with a lot of cussing. If I did get an album from one of my favorite artists back then, I would only get the clean version. Looking back on this album 20 years later, the beats on this album were okay, but they were mediocre at best. But there's a few songs that I do like from this album, like track number 8, Nigga with Jada, Thugs Get Lonely Too, Ghetto Gospel, Who Do You Love, Don't You Trust Me, and Loyal to the Game, the DJ Quick remix. But yeah, this album was alright, but it's not as good as the other Tupac posthumous albums that came out before this. But Eminem, don't you dare touch another Tupac album again in your damn life. I could care less how good M is as a producer. He should have never touched this album in the first damn place. But I'm not going to be too negative on it, but whatever. That's going to wrap up my quick rant celebrating 20 years of Xzibit's album Weapons of Mass Destruction, Ashanti's Concrete Rose, and Tupac's Loyal to the Game. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for my next anniversary rant. Later tonight, I'm going to come back because I didn't get a chance to do my Attitude Era rant last night because I was too damn tired. Reminiscing 25 years of a tag team match between the Dudley Boys and the Rock and Sock Connection from the December 13th, 1999 edition of Raw is War. Happy 20th anniversary to Xzibit's Weapons of Mass Destruction, Ashanti's Concrete Rose, and Tupac's Loyal to the Game.